suppose the first thing you need to do is choose a date, and choose a date that's not really going to have a huge sporting event or something big, political or otherwise, that'll affect people travelling to or attending your wedding. So that's it. The first thing you need to do is decide when you'd like to get married. Then after that, I suppose you need to decide where you want to get married. So be it at home or abroad or, wherever else. And then choose your venue. So you need to or choose an area you'd like your venue in. You should visit maybe somewhere in the region of 3 to 5 venues to get a feel for them, to price them, so you can have an idea of what's out there in your price range. And budget would be another important thing. Obviously, how much you have to spend on your wedding will dictate a lot. So it's important from the get-go to decide between yourself and your fiancé or your parents or whoever's going to contribute to the wedding how much you have to spend, because that will obviously impact every other area. And having decided your date, you'll then know how long you have to save, take out a loan, get a second job, maybe take in a lodger, or find another source of income that'll help you with your budget. Once you've chosen your date, your location, your budget, obviously your ceremony location should be in there as well, whether it be church or civil. Following on from that, you need to decide what's important for you, supplier wise. Are photographers very important? Videographers, bands, florists. The top ones and the very popular ones will obviously book up very quickly. So at that stage, if you want to work with a florist and you know that everybody wants to work with them, it's important maybe at that stage to make inquiries as to how far in advance they book up. The same with bands. Bands are another supplier who would book up very, very quickly, particularly the very good ones, and especially if you're having a summer wedding. The summer, April till October, is probably the most popular time for people to get weddings. So it's the high season for suppliers. So that's when most of their bookings would be. So again, if you want a particular band and he's booked up, maybe consider moving your wedding to November or February or a weekday. You might have availability then. You'll also find that things are a lot cheaper during midweek and out of season, as it were, as well. A lot of suppliers and venues will give you discounts. So that's what you really need to focus on a year out from your wedding. Another important aspect is also registering your intent to marry with the state, particularly if you live in a large city such as, say, maybe Dublin. Sometimes the waiting lists can be quite long to get an appointment with the registrar. So if you ring up well in advance, they'll give you your appointment there and then. Now, your appointment will always be about 3 months out from your wedding. So if you ring up in December and you're not getting married till the following December, your appointment will always be in the September. But the fact that you'll have secured that 9 months out is important, because they do book up, and if they're booked up, you may find yourself in a position of having to go to court to get the your marriage license. So they're the important things to consider. Again, they're all just phone calls. The people at the end of the phone call will be able to advise and to help you. And in some cases, they might say, oh, look, you have loads of time. You can call me back in May or June and I'll still have availability. But at least you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that's in play and I've spoken to them. So whatever is important to you, you should focus on doing a year out from your wedding. At least then you've got a whole host of possibilities and choice out there.